In an interview, the CEO for Kuro Games said he wanted Wuthering Waves to be remembered amongst the greatest open-world action games. I'm bringing this up yet again in yet another video because I'm not hating. I'm measuring and holding the game to the same standard that devs hold it to themselves. Now, with the obligatory disclaimer out of the way, Tomb Break, I don't like it. Currently, as of the making of this video, they have a preview event called Tactical Simulacra Off-Tune, letting us preview the system against many of the current bosses in the game. You deal damage and the gauge fills next to the enemy's health bar. When full, the HP bar gets a shattered look, you tap the QTE button that pops up for big damage, reset the bar, then do it again. You also get this prompt for big damage after certain parries, in which case the bar doesn't reset. Now, here's the kicker for you. I didn't read any of this before jumping into these fights. I hadn't yet heard about the new combat mechanics 3.0, and these tactical simulacra battles are usually straightforward checkbox fights anyways. So I walked into this for the first 2 days noticing the button prompt, pressing it and going, oh, there's a little button for me to press every now and then. I guess that's this event's mechanic this time around. And continued to play as I normally did. I shrugged it off. I was indifferent. I feel like if that's the initial reaction, then there's a problem. I should be going, holy crap, what was that? And how do I do it again? If this is in any way indicative of what I can expect from 3.0, then I can't say I'm all that excited for the new combat mechanic. Even when I read and understood it, it never felt like something really impactful towards the fight outside of its burst damage. And that's no exaggeration. I tried seeing what would happen if I didn't press it. And all that happens is that now I have to fight with a big giant UI prompt in my face until I finally do press it or the boss is defeated. There's no window to miss, just free damage when I want it. I'm not planning around it. I'm not even taking note of the off-tune level. I just press the button prompt when it comes up. Then I go back to fighting the exact same way I fight every boss. I could rip the mechanic out of these fights and all that would happen is one less button to press and the enemies die slightly slower. There are cards you can attach during the event, like for 30 seconds after pressing Tomb Break, you get this certain buff. I imagine these are a sneak peek to show us that there will be effects interacting with Tomb Break, but these aren't much of a good teaser since they don't really change or evolve much of the way I fight. It just turns Tomb Break into a buff button I build up passively like Shorekeeper's ult. I hope these simple buffs aren't the extent of what we can expect from the interaction 3.0 characters will have with the tunability system. Now, like I said, this is a preview, but I'm not going to wait till 3.0 to call it how I see it right now. As a teaser, it failed to hype me up for what's to come. This is a miss. But this system actually does somewhat remind me of similar mechanics I've seen in other action games, like Final Fantasy 16, for example. In that game, you're building up the stagger bar, and at certain thresholds, the monster will lose balance and be interrupted. Wuthering Waves tunability works much like this, but you get the whole fight to decide when the interrupt happens after you get it. Anyways, in Final Fantasy 16, there's no button prompt, but you can use a certain ability that normally does something different, but now drags the boss down to their knees to extend that interrupt window if you time it for this moment, give you more room to follow up. What if the tunability system works similarly? Instead of just being a button you occasionally press, your character's abilities have different or enhanced effects when timed for these moments, like Carlotta's stagnation from her skill having increased duration, or Zani's counter resets her forte gauge to full, then you get more out of her ult phase. Tomb Break is no longer just an extra button, it's momentum. It's in the name after all, off tune, the beast is off step, off beat. This is your window of opportunity for something more, trying to make a decision that matters and possibly turns the tables of a close fight. My idea here, of course, isn't the end-all be-all. My point is that this is the perfect mechanic to do something that adds flair and even tactics to how you use your characters and rewards you for making good calls in the moment. You can do this a ton of different ways, not just the way I said, if we look at all the other action games out there. Currently, this is just an extra attack you occasionally press while playing the fight the exact same way you always do. It's safe, no risk, all reward. I get it, they're trying, but if the devs want to be remembered as one of the greatest open world action games still, then this tunability system needs to be something a bit more. Maybe 3.0 will be revolutionary for it, but as it is with this teaser, it's not even close.